Hello everyone. Before moving with this video, I would like to mention one thing. Chase your dream. No matter how difficult and far they are. Take a breath and make them a mission. And if you are already on a mission, then enjoy the journey. Believe me, you are getting closer to your dream. Today in this video, we will talk about types of aphasia. But before watching this video, go with the previous one. I will mention the link in description. This video is also complete in itself, but in previous video, I explained aphasia along with difference between aphasia and apraxia. So previous video will help you to understand concept clearly. So let's begin. There are various types of aphasia, but we can divide them into two broad categories. First, fluent aphasia and non-fluent aphasia. We will discuss both the types, but in beginning, let's talk about fluent aphasia. In this type of aphasia, someone can speak in sentences that sound like normal speech, or person will able to present sentence with fluency, but the content of the message will not be meaningful. And there are various types of fluent aphasia like Wernicke Aphasia, Transcortical sensory aphasia, Conduction Aphasia, Anomic Aphasia. So first is Wernicke Aphasia. There are Wernicke area in left side hemisphere, right? So there are two hemispheres, right and left. Right? So in temporal lobe, there are Wernicke area, but Wernicke area only in left side hemisphere. That area is responsible for comprehension and language. A German physician, Karl Wernicke, identified that there are a specific area in the brain responsible for certain characteristics, specifically related to comprehension. So if any person developing aphasia due to damage in Wernicke area, we can say that is Wernicke aphasia. And there are various symptoms related to Wernicke aphasia, like person can produce sentences, but that sentence will be meaningless. So person is speaking in a way that sound normal but lack meaning, like they are speaking another language. Person also face difficulty understanding others. So if any individual asking anything to the person with Wernicke aphasia, they do not understand. Second fluent aphasia is Transcortical sensory aphasia, in short TSA. Transcortical sensory aphasia can cause poor auditory comprehension. Mostly it occurs after damage to the temporal lobe, because Wernicke area is in temporal lobe. In TSA, the person can repeat what they hear, but they do not understand it. If person with TSA will hear, "Are you fine?" they could repeat this sentence, but they will not be able to comprehend it. They will not able to understand what other individual asking to them. Cause of TSA, will be brain injury and damages the tissues surrounding Wernicke area. So that damage isolate Wernicke area from the rest of the brain. So person face problem with language comprehension. But keep in mind one thing. In this type of aphasia, there will be no damage in Wernicke area. Wernicke area will be isolated from rest of the brain. And third is Conduction Aphasia. Conduction Aphasia is also fluent aphasia. We call them fluent aphasia. A person with Conduction Aphasia may be unable to repeat words, phrases or sentences. A person with mild Conduction Aphasia might be able to repeat words and short phrases, but have difficulties with long or complex sentences. People with Conduction aphasia also have good auditory comprehensions, means they can understand words, right? So if any individual saying something, they can understand word, right, that they are hearing, but it really difficult for them to repeat the words what they are listening. There are few common symptoms of conduction aphasia, like person can usually understand spoken messages, person will be able to read, write and speak, but they face difficulty in finding words. They will unable to repeat words, phrases or sentences. So these kind of symptoms, right, we can find in conduction aphasia, right? Another fluent aphasia is anomic. Anomic aphasia is a language disorder that leads to trouble naming objects when speaking and writing. So at the time of speaking, individual will face problem naming the object. At the time of writing, they will face problem naming the object. There are many names of anomic aphasia that you can find in different textbooks, like anomia and amnesic aphasia. People with anomic aphasia understand speech well and they can repeat words and sentences, but as I mentioned, facing difficulty naming object, right? So they will face difficulty naming object at the time of speaking as well as at the time of writing. So in both the situation, they will face difficulty naming object. There are few specific or few common, we can say, few common causes of anomic aphasia, like a stroke, brain injury, brain tumor, neurodegenerative disease such as Alzheimer's or dementia. So these are fluent aphasia, in which we talked about Wernicke aphasia, transcortical sensory aphasia, conduction aphasia and anomic aphasia. All these are fluent aphasia. Now, second broad categories are non-fluent aphasia, means a speech production is halting and effortful. Grammar will be impaired. So as name suggests, person will be in problem to speak with fluency. Problem will be there in fluency. Individual or person will not be able to speak with fluency. And major type of non-fluent aphasias are: first, Broca aphasia; second, transcortical motor aphasia; and global aphasia. First, non-fluent aphasia, right, is Broca. So first non-fluent aphasia will be Broca aphasia. So person develop Broca aphasia due to damage in Broca area in left side. I am mentioning left side because Broca and Wernicke, both the area is only in left side hemisphere, and both the area is responsible for language. So if there will be damage in Broca area that is in left side hemisphere, we can say that is Broca aphasia. Right? And individuals typically in this particular kind of aphasia can speak very short phrases and face trouble presenting the words, right? So they will not be fluent. As name suggests, Broca aphasia is a types of non-fluent aphasia. That's why in this type, in Broca aphasia, individual will able to present short phrases and face trouble presenting the words. Individuals with Broca aphasia often feel irritated due to being able to comprehend what others are saying, but at the same time they are unable to express themselves. So they can understand what others are saying, but they are unable to present their emotion verbally. They wanted to express themselves but unable to do so. That's why they present irritation. And there are many specific symptoms associated with Broca aphasia, like person take excessive pause at the time of speaking. person face difficulties in speaking complete sentences. Person present lack of normal rhythm at the time of speaking. So these are, we can say, these are few common symptoms. So you can feel it, you can see individual is not fluent at the time of speaking. They are taking excessive pause. They face difficulty to present complete sentences. They are unable to follow normal rhythm. And when we talk about the causes of Broca Aphasia, there are various causes related to Broca Aphasia, like stroke, brain tumor, head injury, and dementia. Along with dementia, other neurodegenerative disorder will also be the possible cause. So any damage, because of any reason, if there will be damage in Broca area, and if any individual developing aphasia due to damage in that specific Broca area, we can say that is Broca Aphasia. Next non-fluent aphasia is Transcortical motor aphasia. So person develop TMA due to a stroke or brain injury near Broca area, not in Broca area, near Broca area. So due to this damage, Broca area isolated from other area of the brain. That is the major neurological reason behind TMA. People with TMA, transcortical motor area, TMA. So people with TMA typically have good repetition skills. Like a person with TMA might be able to repeat a long sentences. So in TMA, repetition, in transcortical motor area, repetition will be good, but answering a spontaneous question will be difficult. So they can repeat the sentences in TMA, but when they need to present a spontaneous answer, they will face difficulties. And in global aphasia, that is also a type of non-fluent aphasia, all language modalities are affected, like speaking, comprehension, reading, and writing. That's why we call them global aphasia. Global aphasia is caused by injuries to multiple language processing areas of the brain, including Wernicke and Broca area. That's why their comprehension, their reading, writing, speaking, everything will be affected. So in global aphasia, problem will be there related to speaking, writing, as well as comprehension. So we can say there will be the symptom related to fluent and non-fluent aphasia. So in global aphasia, we can find both kind of problem, that individual presenting due to damage in Broca and due to damage in Wernicke. So in global aphasia, we can find both kind of problem. So there are 7 major types of aphasia. 4 comes under fluent and 3 are non-fluent aphasia. We can take a look in brief. In Wernicke aphasia, person face difficulty to repeat and comprehend the words. In transcortical sensory aphasia, person can repeat the words but face difficulty to answer them. In conduction aphasia, person face difficulty in word finding and difficulty repeating phrases. In anomic, person facing trouble naming object when speaking and writing. So at the time of speaking and the time of writing, they face difficulty naming objects. In Broca aphasia, taking excessive pause and person face difficulty in speaking complete sentences. In transcortical motor aphasia, in short TMA, repetition will be good, but answering a spontaneous question will be difficult. In global aphasia, all language modalities like speaking, comprehension, reading, and writing will be affected. So these are the explanation of different types of aphasia. Hopefully, now you are able to understand the differences in aphasia, but due to high similarities and overlapped symptom, if you face any confusion, right, any tiny confusion, so you can mention your query in comment box, right, and you can also reach to us, right, through social media. Fine. And one more thing, if you are still watching this video, means your love, compassion for mental health and psychology is really appreciable. Maintain this zeal for psychology and you will definitely get success. Best wishes, bye and take care.